Do you drive a manual? Do you drive an old BMW? Do your shifts take as long as it takes to say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you might just need a short throw shifter. My name is Ryan, this is Project Race Car. Today we're going to be installing a short throw shifter on the E30. All that in today's episode, let's get into it. Before this video gets started, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. It really does help me out with the YouTube algorithm, and I very much appreciate it a lot. Like I said, the E30 shifter from first gear to second, that is a ridiculous amount of travel. Just straight up far too much. With a full short throw shifter, we should get that down to actually feeling nice and tight again like it did 30 years ago. So this stuff is pretty self-explanatory. Pop off the shifter, pop off the shift boot, and then the dust cover, and then we are going to go underneath the car. So make sure to jack it up, and then we are going to release that little guide right there, and then we'll be able to slap the shifter down in there. So being underneath the car, you can first of all see how dirty the transmission is, but also see how bad these actual mounts are. I think that they're actually separating, and they're just in really rough condition, and they need to be replaced. So what we started with is removing the 13mm underneath the bar, and then we also supported the transmission with a jack, which I might end up moving before I take off this transmission mount, just to a safer location. So, because this is barely on the thing. So, and then what we'll be able to do is we'll be able to remove these two 13mm to bring the bracket down, and then we'll be able to lower the transmission slightly to hopefully get this piece of the shifter off. So we're gonna kind of piece together everything, but yeah, these are the mounts that are just completely destroyed. So both of the actual trans mounts ended up shearing off, like they were already sheared off. So if you haven't checked, if you drive an old car and you haven't checked your mounts, please replace them. These are for sure original and not in the best condition. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean off this actual bracket, get all this stuff off of it, and really clean it up, just so that we can have it be more clean. So that'll be good. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to lower the transmission jack a little bit to where I can get a screwdriver in the bracket to get the thingamabob off. I'll show you guys in a second. Alright team, after fighting this unit for the last, I don't know, half an hour, you have to get this clamp off, and it's on top of the transmission. It has a pretty deep like rivet in there, but basically it fits in here, sits like that. And what I did, rather than dropping the transmission and removing the drive shaft, is I went from the top side coming this way with a screwdriver, and basically pushed the screwdriver into this little slot, so much so that I pried it off. So I did it without removing too many parts. I didn't want to remove the drive shaft. I didn't want to, do too much. So that is all done, and the garagistics shifter bolts to the chassis and removes all of this. So basically we won't even need to worry about this. So that should be really nice. Also careful, because I'm jacked up my hand trying to get on the top side of my transmission. So we'll get the motor mount or the transmissions mounts back in, and then get the thing all bolted up. Alright, now I got the new Condor Speed Shop transmission mounts in, which you have to replace the transmission mounts if you're going with the short throw shifter. We also got this bad boy in, and I haven't put the C-clamp on it because I want to see just kind of how it feels, and if it's too much, like too short of a throw. So we'll wait on that. And then I also drilled a hole for the reverse light up there. So I didn't really, with the short shifter, if you want to get rid of the side-to-side play, then you need to replace another part down there, which I will do in the future, but I'm not going to do right now. But you guys can see the difference. Again, I'll show you before. And this is the after. First gear, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Neutral, reverse, first, second, third, fourth. So this is much better. Highly worth it. I'm gonna throw the boot back on, tighten everything up, tighten up the set screws, and I'll kind of mess around with different stuff, but this feels pretty decent. It doesn't feel too short, so naturally I need to kind of drive the car, but again, this is amazing and so much better than a Amazon piece of trash $15 short throw shifter. So this is well worth it. So if you can see under there, I got the transmission mounts all in. And up front, the motor mounts are both in. I tightened them to German specs, which is good and tight. And the short shifter is fully installed. So what I'm gonna do is I already made sure that everything is tight, but I'm going to go ahead and tuck those wires up, get the interior all set up, and then, but you guys can see the difference from first to second. This thing is shifting mint. So the last thing to do is actually to go out and take it for an actual test drive. But I want to do a full review of the short throw shifter in a later video. I'm going to go test drive the car, and until next time, my name is Ryan. This is Project Race Car. Have an amazing day. Peace.